Welcome back to the Commissioner's Corner, my favorite show on all of TV. Again, I'm Scott Vargo, your host, Dan Gibbs, and Karn Stiegelmeyer, your county commissioners. We're running short-staffed, but we have plenty to talk about, obviously, as we probably doubled up on our time in the first segment. So I know we can only do 47 minutes, is what Brad said, so we have to be careful about our time. So let's see, this segment is going to be human services related or oriented subject matter. But we will continue the theme of prevention. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mountain Mentors, which is a fantastic program that's been around for 20 years?
At least.
20 years?
Yeah.
30 years? It's an anniversary year, 30 years. 30th year anniversary for Mountain Mentors. And so they recently received a award at the Summit Foundation's Philanthropy Award. So congratulations to those folks for that award. And then I guess we want to talk a little bit about what we're trying to get during the 30th year anniversary.
Well, the magical number is 65. And there are 65 kids locally that are on the waiting list. And there are currently 59 students that are part of the Mountain Mentors program. I'm a former mentor myself, and it is just extraordinary. I remember when I first teamed up with my little mentee, I started like skateboarding for the first time since like I was in 3rd grade. I was the oldest guy out there at the Silverthorne skate park, but you get a lot out of it, and the students really get a lot out of it too. And so I just really encourage those adults that are in Summit County that have a minimal amount of time to give back, to help some of these kids, to hang out with them, take them fly fishing, take them mountain biking, take them snowboarding or skiing, just spending time with them.
Is there a general amount of time that they are shooting for or expecting the mentors to provide?
Normally, I believe a couple hours a week.
Okay. And a 1-year commitment to stick around. Yeah. And most, I was told, most are there for at least a couple of years once they're into the program. And a shout out to, I may get the name wrong, Jay DeBagus.
Yeah. Who
was also awarded at the Summit Foundation Philanthropy Awards. He is one of the mentors within the program and got awarded as a part of that program as well. So shout out to him.
Definitely.
Karn, anything else on the stat sheet?
I think you covered a lot of the stats. I was just going to say, hey, it's holiday season. It's a good time to think about giving to the youth in our community. And they do make it easy. If you aren't a fly fisher person or you're not willing to go skateboarding, there are lots of activities that are organized that you can join in on. So you don't have to think that you have to figure it out on your own. There's a lot of support, and it's just a great way to give to our youth, and it makes a big difference in prevention of activities that youth we don't want to see the youth getting involved in.
Absolutely.
The executive director, Shauna, does a heck of a job. I think she works extremely hard. And contact her at 668-9182. And then, maybe we can show her email address and so forth down here if folks are interested.
We encourage folks to get in touch with them. Take a look at the county's website and look up Mountain Mentors, and you can get more information about the program. But again, it's a program that is subsidized to some degree by county government, but they are largely supported through grants. And so certainly we thank all of the different organizations that have supported Mountain Mentors over the years and continue to do so going forward. So, all right, so we'll move from that to another kudos for Summit County's Human Services Department. So there's a state program, Department of Human Services program called CSTAT, and that is a series of measurements for different functions within the human services realm. So child welfare, economic security, child support division, et cetera. And so Reggie Bika, who runs the Colorado Department of Human Services, was out just earlier this week to present an award. And so one of you guys want to talk about what that award was for?
So it sounds simple. I was explaining it to someone and they said, well, why is that such a big deal? It's about timeliness, but it really is a big deal because we have so many people who need services, and there's a balancing act there because there are people who need services, and there's also a concern about not getting into fraud. And so we have been top of the list, at least in the top 10 for many years in a row, in terms of going through the initial registration, getting all the proper information, and in a timely way, getting people the services that they need. If people are hungry and they need food, we want to get them services right away. And our people have done that. It's really interesting that around the state, it's the smaller communities, smaller counties that have usually been at the top of the list. And I think a lot of that is just the size of our community. Our people know, everybody knows everybody in Summit County. And so it's not this anonymous person standing in line. It's somebody who's a member of our community. So it's all about timeliness in providing those services and doing it in an accurate way.
Yep.
And it was really great to have Reggie Bika come up here. Out of 64 counties, we were only one of 16 in the whole state to get this, high level distinction. So congrats to everyone, but Joanne Sprouse and her department really for putting together the right framework to be responsive, to be at these high levels for analysis that CSTAT encourages, but we're performing at those high levels.
Yep.
So it's excellent.
Yeah, there are somewhere around 15 or 18 different measurements. In order to receive this distinguished award, you have to meet or exceed 75% of those standards. And Summit County met or exceeded, I want to say it was 11 out of 12 in one category and all of the others in the other category. And so did a fantastic job. And in our community, unlike some of the larger communities, we may have in some of these categories just a few cases. And so if there happens to be one mix-up or one error made on one of these cases, that's enough to bump us out of the running. And so despite the volume in some of those small volume areas, we're still exceeding or meeting those expectations. And then in the others where we have a lot of caseload and a lot of activity, again, we're exceeding in those as well. So congratulations to that group. All right, last one for this segment, CHIP. So CHIP is Children's Health Insurance Program. And there are some big potential changes coming as a result at the federal level with CHIP. So Karn, you want to start off?
Yeah, we just sent a letter to all of our senators, our representative in DC, because this is a huge issue and it's something that has been bipartisan support for many, many decades. This program supports in Summit County 600 children today. It is a program that takes care of the insurance for children who are just above the Medicaid level. And so especially in our community where we're the most costly place to buy insurance, this is a really critical program for our families. And again, it goes to that prevention. If you have this insurance that would cost you $75 a year for your child under CHIP, and we've talked about these costs, many, many hundreds of dollars, $100 a month, whatever your health insurance may be, if you have to pay that out of pocket, it's not affordable. So it again goes to the prevention. If you're able to get regular care and have that insurance, then you're going to be getting that preventative care, upfront care. You're not going to end up with a big problem for your child because you were afraid that you can't afford the care. So we're waiting for the people in DC to pay attention to this. It's every single state is concerned about it. Red states, blue states. We're all in the same situation. The states don't have the money. There has been money from the feds. The majority of the money is coming from the feds through block grants to the states. And it's at this point, I think, the most critical thing that they should be paying attention to in DC.
Yeah, this is like slow-moving tsunami moving into our community when you have the uninsured rate in Colorado average 6 to 7%, but in Summit County over double that number. You have Medicaid expansion for kids, and we've had over 300 kids benefit from that. And then this CHIP Plus is about 600 kids. And you put CHIP Plus and you put Medicaid expansion on the same potential chopping block, and you have a catastrophic situation for many families in Summit County. And so, so as Karen mentioned, we're working hard to let our federal legislators know the landscape in Summit County, and where many families are making I'd almost say diabolical, decisions that they should not have to make, where they're deciding if they can pay their rent, their child care, or health care. And those are decisions that families shouldn't have to choose which one or the other. So.
All right, good. We'll take another quick break, and then we'll be right back.